it is a security concern. I think it's also about waiting till this late at night to get in quickly, get out quickly, avoid, making the rush hour worse. I think from Donald Trump's standpoint and his aides, there's probably some aspect of doing this during primetime television to catch up on exposure that he would have missed last night. But I also the plan is when they get to the jail, there's a sally port. So they drive in the Rice Street side or the Jefferson Street side. They go into the sally port. A gate closes behind them. Another gate opens in front of them. They go basically into a frozen zone. It'll be the limo, the lead car, and the follow. So only 3 cars with the Secret Service detail. The rest of the motorcade will turn around to face the direction for the departure. He will go in and go through this process, presumably with the mugshot, live scan fingerprints electronically. The forms have all been filled out in advance by advanced people to try and get as much of the paperwork out of the way so that they'll turn all that around. He'll come out the same way he came in. So in this case, we expect not to see him except coming off the plane and perhaps stopping to make a statement at the airport, getting back on the plane.
Go ahead.
So what's worth remarking on here is this one is different than the ones we've seen in the past because the prior 3 cases, the surrender and the processing happened inside a courthouse. Now we're in Fulton County. This will happen inside a county jail. He's not going to be in general population. He's not going to be in a cell. But I think this is a reality hit, that this will happen inside a jail. And it's a reminder also of the stakes here. These cases are about more than just the paper, the indictment. I mean, this is a real criminal case. And if Donald Trump is convicted, and we're a long way away from that, this is where he could end up several months down the road.
Let's go back to Jake. Jake?
Thanks so much. And as we watch the images coming in from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, it is quite a sight to behold.
Chat, what are we doing? Is he gonna smile or is he gonna fucking hit him with one of these? That's what I think he's gonna do. Hit him with the fucking blue steel. Lip bite. He'll hit him with a meme mug. I think so. We're getting the deadpan stare. I think he'll hit him with the fucking meme mug. I don't think he's gonna smile. Even though he has such a big, beautiful smile. He should smile more.
For Central Georgia, I mean, it's a sad day. Whether you
we have to get an over/under on height and weight too.
You approve of the charges or you don't approve of the charges. The fact is,
I wish Twitch had better prediction. Which, ironic. I wish that Twitch had better Gamba, but I do wish that Twitch had better prediction situations because, like, right now it's very limited to a time frame, and then you can't do multiple predictions at a certain point. But like, if I had the opportunity, I would basically make Gamba over 1, whether he's going to smile or hit the mean mug. 2, I would put up an over/under on weight and also height because it would be sick. But then again, Ludwig, who's also a criminal and a MAGA loyalist, has routinely lied to the State Department, or not State Department, routinely lied to the DMV. So I feel like you could probably get away with lying on your height, maybe in a similar capacity in prison. Like, I don't think they make you take your shoes off. You know what I mean?
So this is a different proceeding. It's a different venue. The rules in a state setting like this are going to be very different for Trump. And frankly, I'm not sure he's really going to like it all that much because there already seems to be much less deference being given to him in this context than in the federal or even the New York State context.
And Dana Bash, no matter how much Donald Trump and his supporters try to act as if this is something that it's all just part of a witch hunt.
The one thing we'll know is for certain that at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. That's certain. Unless here's the 3-minute ad break. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. I had a really banger take, but I totally forgot. God damn it.
But one thing I will say, and John Miller was talking about this, about the timing, inside Trump's orbit, they say that big reason for this. The main reason for this timing.
Thank you.
7:30
Wesker
Eastern
Palm
at night
and DJ
is because
Kento
of
for the
traffic,
5
is
gifted subs. Allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour.
safety, and the Secret Service wanted this. But there is no question, no one denies the fact that Trump, as a showman, having this primetime moment, as bad as it is for him legally, it is very, very beneficial, he believes.
Am I feeling better, brother?
Yeah, we had Sarah.
Chatter, are you kidding me? How can I not feel fucking spectacular on this beautiful, glorious day? Politics is back. Donald Trump's getting fucking arrested. There's a mugshot coming out. My dick's hard right now, okay? This is the moment. I have every single day that I've existed on this fucking God's green earth, okay, has come for this particular moment
Of his Boeing 757.
This is what I was born to do. This is what I was bred to do.
And make his way down the stairs, and I'm sure there will be a motorcade that will take him and his entourage, to, including his new lawyer. Was that his new lawyer? Was that Stephen
Quantum
Sedano?
Foam, 42. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
We know that it was Susie Wiles, hit one of his.
I want that slick back, evil Trump
and so
hair. Ooh, that's a
along
good
with-
Trump. That's a
with
rare
someone
Trump.
I think is Stephen Sedano, his new attorney. Andy, go ahead, James.
Just one quick note. I mean, just as we're looking at these pictures here of Trump coming down, there are a lot of the trappings of the presidency, most notably the Secret Service, that he still maintains. But
As any
the reason-
ex-president
as a
does.
former president.
Yeah.
But the reason that we are here is because he is not the president anymore, despite what he wants to believe. He likes people to call him Mr. President, all of that. He's not.
And Andy McCabe, one of the points we were talking about earlier, we were talking about of the 19 defendants, including Mr. Trump, Harrison Floyd, the former head of Black Voices for Trump, who has been indicted and turned himself into authorities having to do with his alleged harassment of Fulton County election official Ruby Freeman. He did not negotiate his bond agreement, so he may end up spending tonight in the Fulton County Jail, a notorious jail. Trump and his allies like to talk about a two-tier system of justice. They think Republicans get overly prosecuted as opposed to Democrats. But that's really an example of the two-tier system of justice. You were making the point.
Yeah, it really is, Jake. I think it stands out in particularly stark relief in these circumstances because you have 18 other defendants in the same case, all of whom are the mostly male, all white, wealthy, professional people, political people, attorneys.
At least have access to wealth, if not their own. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Have the financial ability to hire attorneys who are going in and negotiating these deals so that their time in the jailhouse will be as short as possible. And then on the other hand, you have this gentleman, Harrison Floyd, who was charged about a week or so ago, as we understand, for an altercation he got in with FBI agents who were trying to serve a subpoena on him in conjunction with Jack Smith's federal investigation of election.
Boring. Shut up. Let's hear what the content creators are saying.
Having a right to an attorney. These are attacks on constitutional freedoms and rights that we have, and that is the point. It does also clarify what the next election is about and how important it is for everyone who cares about the country to be united on standing up against this. This is like how you lose a republic, and so it clarifies all the issues. People are surprised that Donald Trump is doing well in the polls each time he gets indicted.
This is for the survival of Trump or the country? It seems like the survival of the country.
It's clearly the country and what we believe.
If we sit back and allow this to happen, do you think they're going to stop doing this? No, this is the way politics will be run for the rest of time.
That's why the hesitation on that panel last night about pardoning Trump or looking around. What? We need leaders, not followers.
Exactly. And it reminds me of what happens on a schoolyard when there's a bully and everybody thinks if they just go along with the bully that it won't go away, and you actually have to stand up and fight and you have to stop these things.
Yeah, well, Charlie, there's President Trump exiting his plane. This is a somber moment for the country and an infuriating moment for the Trump base.
Beautiful.
I think a lot of independents,
a historic
frankly,
moment.
Are watching this spectacle unfold and thinking,
he might be getting happy. He might be giving happy.
Third world, maybe Central America,
Chat, we might be
South
seeing
America,
a happy
obviously. We see what Putin does to his critics, from Alexander Navalny to the vicious Prigozhin. But they don't allow them to have their say, and they certainly don't allow any groundswell of support to develop around a political opponent. And he'll take this short drive to the Fulton County Courthouse. I should say, Charlie, the left is ramping up their fear-mongering as this is all going on, because again, this is their moment of great celebration. They claim to think that this is a serious moment for democracy, but you see it around the edges. They are gleeful that this man is going to get his mugshot taken tonight, fingerprinted like he summoned Jack and Cars in San Francisco. Those people actually go free.
So they're
Wait, but Trump is going to go free. What do you mean?
left. They have nothing left. And
It's not like Trump is going to jail permanently. He did a crime, and they're releasing him.
Really frustrating.
They need to stop releasing these fucking thugs back on the streets, okay? Let me tell you something. Law and order, okay? Stop releasing these thugs back on to the fucking streets, brother. Do you feel me? Okay? For far too long, these goddamn DAs have let the Donald Trump administration get away with crimes. I'm sick and tired of it. These fucking re-thuglikins need to go to prison. Perma jail. That's it. No more prison abolition here, baby.
Stop this is to stop this. Because if this is not stopped, they will do this forever.
Republicans should grind everything on Capitol Hill to a halt.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. If this is allowed on the federal level, on the state level, I'd grind it all to a halt.
And there's so much that they can do on the Hill and that they have begun to do, including investigating Fani Willis, who's clearly coordinating with other Democrat
Kamala
people.
Harris supporter? We're going to get into that.
And by the way, I think prosecutors around the country should begin preparing indictments of Joe Biden for every person in their district who dies of fentanyl poison, every person that is murdered by an illegal alien that Joe Biden intentionally allowed in the country so that they could go and murder somebody. There should be indictments for the president, and let's start there. And then if we want to renegotiate this and settle down a little bit, maybe we can do that.
I want everyone to understand what we're watching. We're watching a Secret Service detail accompany the former president of the United States, leading significantly by 30, 40, in some cases 50 points in the Republican primary.
Yeah, we should throw the rest of the Republican Party in jail for wanting to vote for a thug, okay? That's all you're telling me, Laura. Laura, what you're telling me right now is that you are a thug yourself, okay? And you are telling me, oh, my criminal is very popular. Sorry, you're going to jail too for defending crimes and for defending criminals. Lock them up. Law and order.
Joe Biden
Law
spent 50
and
years
order.
in public service, and his family all has bank accounts where they take money from foreign people. They go to public service and they come out much better. You have with President Trump, one of the first and only people to actually stand up against that corrupt regime, seeing the persecution that comes associated with it.
I am unironically so libbed up. Like, I'm sure people will take stuff like this that I'm saying sarcastically seriously. You know what I mean? But there is an element of me actually fucking being genuinely libbed up on this beautiful day. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's fun to have fun, okay? We need to let ourselves have some fun because you rarely ever get good things, okay? So you might as well, let your nuts hang a little bit. Okay.
They were opposing a corrupt regime.
How does this affect, Charlie, this Republican primary?
It's a good day.
I mean, we saw this last night where, as I said in the angle, the two men on stage who most closely align with Trump on the policies and clearly were the most charitable toward him. Obviously, Vivek is the most, but DeSantis as well, although he tried to stay above the fray.
Oh, my God. They're saying Vivek's name correctly. That's how you know, dude.
They're bigger poll numbers.
And again, your point is that it was all about the issues, and it was all about the issues.
Oh my God, they love
2016
him.
Was the most issue-oriented election probably of our lifetime. It was about the issues, and that's what is so terrifying to these people, and why they're persecuting Donald Trump like this. Because when you make elections about issues, reasonable, America First, populist candidates rise to the top. And you're exactly right. You've got
it's crime time.
They have completely taken over the Republican Party. These people have been knocked out of power, and they're coming for the Democrat Party. There is nothing they won't do to stop that.
Anyone who has the views that he has on putting China back on its heels, we're talking trillions of dollars is on the line. That's a lot of money. And you don't think China's happy tonight to see this? They're very happy. The happiest China would be is if Joe Biden was reelected. So look at who's happy tonight. And clearly they're gleeful.
It's true
Yeah,
that
right.
the enemies of America look at this and they see it for sort of the laughingstock that it is. They see how
Yeah, they never laughed at America when Trump was president, famously. Like, the rest of the planet never laughed at America when Trump was president. They certainly are laughing now. Like, this is the laughable moment.
in this way, it is actually America that is being laid low.
Well, yeah,
right
because the totalitarian regimes, what are they going to say? You guys are...
Bro, it's so fucking funny. First of all, totalitarian regimes lock up their former leaders all the time. What do you mean? Like, the fuck are you saying? Like, yeah, if anything, you'd be like, oh, nice, America, welcome to the fold, okay? Welcome to the fray. But having said all that, the fact that they're so dramatic, like, they're babying him so hard. Oh, my God, they're fucking babying him like it's crazy. No self-reflection whatsoever. Zero self-awareness. It's like, how could they do this to our big, beautiful president?
That America should be the world's policemen who are selling out all of our credibility in order to have a political win here.
And Molly, you sense in some of the comments on the other networks that they're really building this. It's a security risk, like security around the courthouse. So we want everyone to be safe no matter what's happening in our country, obviously. But just like Nancy Pelosi created
my
that
food is here.
atmosphere
Let's go.
after January 6th, you had to have the barbed wire, you had to have the perimeter. You get the sense that they're going to keep this going through the next election, which maybe that'll affect how people vote. Maybe it'll be used in other ways to kind of clamp down on speech. But you get that sense that the security threat is used as part of their choreography here.
Absolutely. And you look at what, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to petition your government for a redress of grievances. All of these things are things that the left does not want us to have. And it's terrifying to actually live through. It's very tyrannical, authoritarian, but it's all related.
It's misinformation with disinformation. They're the same thing they threw out during COVID. They're going to throw it again. Panel is going to stay with me. I want to bring in 2024 Republican presidential candidate. He had a busy day, busy night. Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, thanks for joining us. As you see the scene right now.
The fact that they're hitting his name correctly, like Laura Ingraham is such a fucking relentless piece of shit and such an overt racist. The fact that they're saying this man's name correctly, which is how you're supposed to say Vivek, when like they've never gotten Kamala Harris's name right, tells you everything you need to know about how much they love him, okay?
I think this is shameful, Laura. This is an indictment not of Donald Trump, but of our national civic health, that we have gotten to a place where we have a party in power that will use any charge in any jurisdiction for at the same time in the middle of an election designed, mark my words, to stop their lead political rival currently from running. And I'm saying this coming out of a debate last night that went really well in many national polls. I'm now in second. It would be easier for me if my competitor in this primary, Donald Trump, were eliminated from competition. But that is not how I want to win. That is not grounded in principle. We are skating on thin ice as a country right now, Laura. And I think this takes us one step further in the wrong direction. We have to stand on the side of principle, not politics. That goes for everybody in this GOP primary, and I've been vocal for a reason.
Vivek, you said you're one of the candidates who would support Trump as the nominee if he wins the nomination, but if he's convicted of a crime. Here's how former governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan, reacted to this. Watch.
That was the low light of the entire debate. I mean, I was embarrassed and disgusted by it. For, 6 people to raise their hand and say, I would put a convicted felon in the White House, it's just beyond comprehension. I mean, in most states, convicted felons don't even have the right to vote. They're not registered voters, but we would put them in the White House.
Wait, that's crazy. Okay, fuck you, man. Like, oh God, leave it up to the Democrats to be like, to make me not feel happy about this. Okay? Leave it up to the goddamn Democrats. It's like, oh, in most states, convicted felons can't even fucking vote. It's like, it's disgraceful. First of all, convicted felons should be able to vote, okay? Fuck you. What the fuck do you mean? I know he's a Republican, but he's a woke Republican. That's why they're fucking shitting on him.
The person who leads this country next should be the person who the citizens of this nation actually choose. I think that's not a radical
He's a rhino.
idea, yet it seems radical to the likes of not only Joe Biden, but look at our own party. Liz Cheney to Chris Christie to Asa Hutchinson to, Larry Hogan or whoever else you're going to play from the traditional Republican establishment echoing the same talking points. And that's why, Laura, I think the divide in this country goes even deeper than just traditional Republicans and Democrats. I think the real divide is, do we believe in the founding ideal of this country, of the American Revolution, that the people can be trusted to self-govern? Or do we actually believe that the people can't be trusted and it has to be a small group of self-appointed quasi-monarchs in the back of palace halls, in old world England in the old world, but in the administrative state as it goes?
Dog, what is he talking about? I thought we were a fucking not a direct democracy, but a constitutional republic, and therefore, wait, what? This guy can't be oblivious, right? This is messaging, right? It's like the notion that America was founded by people that wanted anything but a electoral college and a very small group of people, white land-owning men, to be able to vote and have all the power is so silly. Well, what the fuck is he saying?
In my view, excellent on China. You've been very tough on China in your campaign. But when I think it was back in 2018, you were CEO, you gave a keynote remarks at some biotech conference in China. I know you've done business in China, and you've partnered with various companies that have ties to China. Do you have is there a transcript of those remarks that you gave at that biotech conference? Would you release the video of the speech there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, there's nothing to hide. Far from it. I write about that experience in Woke Inc., my first book, Laura. And the fact is, I probably know more about the modern Chinese state than probably everybody else on that debate stage yesterday. Because, yes, I have done deals around the world, developing medicines in many jurisdictions, not just China. But here's what I know through my own experience. China is different. The CCP does not allow you to do business in China unless you effectively meet their demands. And that's why they turn American CEOs from Jamie Dimon to Tim Cook to Larry Fink.
Wait, does that mean he was cucked by China?
The reason I am so vocal against actually our need for economic independence from China, Laura, is based on my own views as some.
Does that mean he's shilled for the CCP then? Because he said he did business there. And Big Pharma. Hello? Vaccine question mark?
To turn U.S. companies into pawns to do their bidding. That is why they require Airbnb, for example, to hand over American user data as a condition for doing business in China. No. That is not capitalism.
Vaccinated?
That is Chinese mercantilism. And that's why I have been the most aggressive in this race, based on my own personal understanding of it, that we have to say that.
I'm sorry. There is literally nothing funnier than a guy who got a George Soros scholarship to go to college, who is a Silicon Valley tech CEO billionaire, who also did pharmaceuticals and work with China. And these fucking dumbass hogs are like, we love him, brother. He's great. God damn, dude. That is so funny. If this dude was a Democrat, if he said the same shit, but he was a Democrat, Republicans would assassinate him. Okay? They'd be like, that's it. That's the CCP agent. What do you mean? He's brown. Look at him. Yeah, George Soros funded, worked with the World Economic Forum, Silicon Valley tech CEO, pharmaceutical CEO, billionaire, worked with China. I love
Clear
this.
up the Soros scholarship you got. I don't know, that was way back in 2011, but you did get some scholarship that was sponsored by the Soros Foundation, and because you needed the money. Or what was that?
It's
all
come
about?
up a million times. Yeah, so when I was 24, I applied for a generic scholarship that hundreds of people win. 24 years old to go to law school, graduate student applications, generic scholarship from not George Soros. And this is the common misconception. It is a family member of George Soros who is long dead at the age of 24 to pay for law school. I'll tell you this, Laura, anybody who would have turned that scholarship down at the age of 24, if they're the same person today, should get nowhere near the White House doing trade deals on behalf of this country. And so the reality is they probably aren't very happy with what I say today, but no tie to George Soros other than condemning him.
Look, Vivek, nobody knows who you were 5 minutes ago. I knew you just because of your book, and we've done so many interviews over the years, so I've known you, but our viewers are still getting to know you, and yet you're number 2 or number 3 in these polls. Washington Post put you at finishing second behind DeSantis last night, but you and DeSantis combined are 55%. All 6 of the other candidates on stage together combined didn't beat you and DeSantis. That's pretty stunning.
Well, I think the debate was really useful last night because it smokes out some real ideological differences in the GOP, and that's going to make the party stronger. That's going to make the country stronger. And so I think that was a successful evening. And the reality...
Yeah, he was already a millionaire when he applied for the scholarship. Yeah. He reported $2.2 million income during the same year he accepted the Soros scholarship. Dude, he's got so much oppo on him, dude. So much oppo. Oh, it's great. Love him. He's a fucking leaky faucet with opposition.
Where the left feeds our vacuum of purpose with race, gender, sexuality, climate. And I do think we as conservatives need to now level up. Say we're not just criticizing that agenda, but offer an actual vision of our own, individual, family, nation, God. I'm leading the way on that, but I'm going to need the other people on that stage to play their part in our revival too.
Vivek, we got to get back to the Trump chase here, but thank you for joining us. Mike, Trump's arriving at the jail at any moment, but earlier today, he got a brand new attorney. Actually, we're going to go to Saul on this question. Saul, he got a brand new attorney. I know you know him well. What can you tell us about Steven Sadow, who will be with him tonight as he gets processed?
I wouldn't say I know him well, but I know him, and he's an outstanding criminal defense attorney. Is he Gucci Mane's attorney? A trial advocate, great cross-examiner. So I think it's a great choice. Drew Feinling, his current lead counsel down there, is also an outstanding attorney. So I don't know what the issue was, but he really has picked somebody who's outstanding and is kind of a real fighter in the Trump mold.
Oh, Gunners?
The motorcade is arriving right at the courthouse. And they're going through the gates at this moment, and there'll be some perfunctory details they have to get through as they walk through. I wonder if the president's going to have to go through the magnetometer. I guess he will with the Secret Service. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Mike, your reaction to these pictures we're seeing? I mean, this has never happened in the history of the United States. A presidential motorcade going to take a former president to be processed, booked, and the left hopes humiliated. But I think the country's going to have something to say about this. Mike.
Yeah, this is outrageous. Here we have another Democrat prosecutor and another Democrat hellhole dragging a former president and a leading presidential candidate in to indict him and book him and to take a mugshot for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887. Twisting political arms is allowed by the First Amendment. To charge racketeering here is laughable.
Again, this is not a Democratic hellhole, because if Trump was right and the election was stolen from him, then the Patriots outnumber the Democratic rats. Okay? So you can't have it both ways. You can't say it's a Democratic shithole while also the entire fucking point that Trump is trying to make hinges on his true belief that this is not a Democratic shithole. It's a Republican shithole, but the Democrats stole it. You can't have it both ways, man.
Downplaying this. I mean, he has certainly seen how he uses these exact moments to his political advantage, Sarah. I mean, you covered him when he was in the White House as well. And he was posting today, you know, what time he expected to be here. 7:30 here. It is 7:34 as he is arriving here. Where they're pulling.
We love some timely guidance, I guess. Yeah, but he does use these. I mean, he uses these for fundraising. He uses these to rally his base. I mean, that's one of the questions about the sort of value of a mugshot in this case, right? It's treating Donald Trump, if he does get one, the same as any other defendant, but you're also giving him a photo that there's no doubt that he's going to use on promotional material, he's going to use on fundraising material. I believe he made a fake mugshot in the past that he used for fundraising purposes. And I think that, that's one of the things that's gone into consideration in his previous 3 arrests, where he has not had a mugshot, is do we really need to do this when we're talking about a former president of the United States? We know what he looks like.
And he is certainly the highest profile person this week that has come in here, but it's not just Trump who has gone through this exact process without a motorcade, without a private plane bringing them in. I mean, Mark Meadows came in just earlier and had his mugshot yesterday, or today we saw Rudy Giuliani coming in yesterday, getting his mugshot as well. I mean, the parade of people and former top officials in
Look at the ambulance.
US government that have come through this
He's still
Fulton County
president.
jail in the last few days is remarkable in and of itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's unprecedented. It's nothing like I think any jail has ever seen, and certainly I know Atlanta and the Rice Street has never seen.
Wait, what?
I know a lot of work, effort has gone into making sure it goes through without a
Okay.
hitch. But
If it's self-reported.
what happens inside that jail, because again, it is the Fulton County Jail.
And you know this jail well, but for people.
It's self-reported. It's either fake, or it's self-reported. There is no fucking shot. Oh, he's been booked. 6'3", 2015, 215, blonde or strawberry blue? Oh, blue eyes, blonde or strawberry? Nah, he's not 215. This is abso-fucking-lutely. Nah. Bro, that's crazy. Guys, if Trump was 6'3" and 215 pounds, that would mean he's like infinitely skinnier than me. I am 6'4". I am 6'4" and 245 pounds. Okay? I am 6'4" and 245 pounds. That would mean that Donald Trump is both he's shorter than me, just a little bit shorter than me, but he is literally 30 pounds lighter. There is no shot. Jealousy is a disease, love. Hope you get better. No, it's self-reported. No shot. Okay? Here, let's get to Fox News. Let's hear what the fuck they're talking about. Okay, let me close some of these dumbass tabs.
The basis of a county prosecution paralleling a federal prosecution. Paint the picture.
Well, you have to keep in mind both this prosecutor in Fulton County and the prosecutor in Manhattan, they basically campaigned on going after Donald Trump. And you have to ask yourself, like Charlie Hurt was saying earlier, no matter what party you're in, do you want any prosecutor in any county, in any state in this country, all of a sudden thinking and taking it upon themselves, I think I'm going to indict the president of the United States, who's very unpopular in my county and my district.
Bro, what do you mean? He did fucking crimes, man.
Don't want to take. Federal prosecution is a completely different thing.
Okay, I'm getting fucking annoyed. Okay, let's just watch.
Dan was saying earlier how, talk about two-tiered system of justice and how some people are treated and how Trump is treated. I mean, typically they would not clear the streets of Atlanta to have his motorcade, to have a defendant's motorcade come through. I mean, this does look unusual than what you would typically see for a defendant.
You're right. I mean, the streets would not be closed. I will say that when they do transport inmates from the jail to the Fulton County Courthouse, which is about, a 7-minute ride, that happens a few times a day, and they do have an escort, obviously for safety purposes, with the sheriff's office and the buses that go that way to make sure there are no issues. Fulton County is the home of one of the most dangerous shootings at the courthouse in 2005 with Brian Nichols, and so security has been elevated here since then, more probably than anywhere else in a county courthouse in our state. So security is number one here in Fulton County because of that.
And Trump has officially gone into the jail. We were told that his aides that are with him are sitting in the vehicles that you can see. Obviously, the Secret Service goes in with him. They did that in Washington. You had just a remarkable security scene-wise because it was Secret Service. But one person who is sitting in those cars right there that the people at home will now know is Walt Nauta, his co-defendant in the documents case, just to speak to the bizarre level of what we're watching.
Yeah, it does sort of, you were talking about Susie Wiles earlier, and it sort of makes you wonder back to the beginning when Susie Wiles started working for Trump and some of these aides started working for Trump. how different it is, how different this experience of working for, again, the front runner for the Republican nomination for president is from what they anticipated. Organizing lawyers, sitting in a motorcade outside of a jail while you're, the person you're working for is preparing to be arrested or is under arrest for the 4th time.
Sorry, I'm tweeting.
I mean, it's just an incredible thing to see.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, you've covered a lot of campaigns, covered the White House. Safe to say that is not typically what senior advisors on campaigns are tasked with doing, making sure that you have the right attorneys for your indictments.
No, it's certainly not less 4 indictments, including, or 1. We should note, just to update you on some of the pictures we saw when Mr. Trump's plane landed, his 757, landed at Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta. That was, in fact, his new attorney, Stephen Sadow, who got onto the private plane to talk to him, along with his aide, Susie Wiles. We saw her. And then for those
actually
of you
20
keeping track
pounds
at home, Walt Nada, who is his co-defendant in the special counsel's classified document case, is also traveling with him. Donald Trump, as we understand it, is right now being placed under arrest and surrendering to law enforcement. One thing that's interesting about this case, and I'd love to get our lawyers here to weigh in.
Chat, Donald Trump, 215, 6'3". I am 225 pounds here. Maybe 235 actually pounds here. And 6'4". It is nutty. Okay? It is unimaginable that this man had the gall, the fucking audacity to literally say that he's 215 pounds. Get the fuck out of here. It's not the point, but it's fake as fuck.
Who's wealthy, they'll make a deposit.
And it's only 10% that you have to put up, right? $20,000?
They'll get the money back.
That's got to be like in his sofa change for Donald Trump, you'd think.
Or in the change of his giant plane that he just made.
Right, it costs more than that to come out. So it is unusual to see that. Some people put up a property bond if they live in the state or in the county where the jail is, but here, this is to have him use a bail bondsman is different.
Why would he do such a thing?
I feel like I'm watching really a campaign trip as opposed to a court trip. And so for everything from the number of the cars in the Secret Service detail.
Betting agencies at 273.5 pounds.
Coming in and the big production. And I'm not sure that it doesn't play into the narrative of me as the victim and I'm being victimized and so I'm doing this. That's the only thing I can come up with. It would make sense to do it because it's just a financial.
We're going to put you on our political panels.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
You just nailed it.
Like you remember the back of the shirts for the Bad News Bears. They were sponsored by a bail bondsman. I agree that was the sponsor.
I mean, maybe he just didn't want to hand over his own money to
20 grand. But you're paying $2,000
There are smaller
fee
things
for
that John
your
would throw a fit
sometimes you pay more than that. Sometimes you pay 10% of the bond amount.
Yeah.
It's a hefty fee.
But even to your point about
and
God,
the
getting off the
first
plane
year
and seeing
that
the
Fannie
press.
Willis became DA, she had 204 people murdered in Fulton County. 284 women were raped. Over 1,000 robberies. That's a 60% jump in murders in her first year. What does she do? What does she devote her first year to in
She wants
office?
to kill the political future of Donald Trump.
She wants to go after Donald Trump. Yeah. And and it's so interesting. So she spends all this security on Donald Trump. Don't you think that even Democrats or independents in Fulton County might like to have some of that security, keeping their 204 neighbors from getting murdered in the first year, or 284 women from being raped in their first year?
No,
she doesn't care about
but
them.
Molly, this is the thing. You have said this so many times and so eloquently. They never thought he was legitimate.
And to take it
yeah,
one
it's
step
the same.
further, if you are not fighting with every fiber in your body against this, then you're also contributing. Yeah, exactly. You're contributing to the evil. If this is not stopped, it will continue forever.
Panel, thank you so much, both of you tonight. Now, so what does all this mean for the election going forward? The judge just granted one of the co-defendants, as I said, Kenneth Chisborough, the speedy trial. Again, it starts on the 23rd of October. So Trump's lawyers are trying to separate him from that date, and right now it's just for that one co-defendant. But here's what we could be looking at over the next few months. Now, look at how the court dates overlap with the primary dates. It's terrifying. I guess we don't have the graphic up. Joining me now, oh, there we go. There's the graphic, if you can read it. I can't from here. Joining me now, Victor Davis Hanson, senior fellow at Hoover. Victor, This is political. They want to knock him off the trail, try to silence him, don't let him speak, take him off social media. It's all too dangerous. Nancy Pelosi will put the barbed wire up the Capitol, which is about a couple hundred yards away from where we are right now. You can see this all building, can you not?
Absolutely. All four prosecutions, all four of them are by people who would self-identify as being in the left. They're all going to be in left-wing jurisdictions. They're going to be before left-wing jurors. Why couldn't there just be one conservative person, if this was so legitimate, somewhere in the United States who will also join in? But it's all
Wait,
political.
what?
It's designed to.
Is he asking for a conservative person to also prosecute Trump? Because say no more, fam.
In the entire race and to post his weight, everything they can do. And it's also, though, Laura, very quickly to establish deterrence. They're telling everybody when this election comes on, if you question how we conduct election anywhere in the United States, no matter how egregious it might seem, that's a criminal offense. And that's a deterrent.
Bro, Trump could not have done this crime in a right-wing jurisdiction. The crime itself, quite literally, involves him trying to change the Democratic outcome of an election that went for the Democrats. Okay? So, like, you literally can't have this happen, this particular thing, happen in a right-wing jurisdiction because he won those. Those are legitimate, right? In his eyes. It's so stupid. CNN is clowning on his weight. I mean, it's a lie.
Okay, I've never seen strawberry as an option on any form. Not that I would be looking for it anyway, but it certainly is an unusual. So yes, white male, 6'3", 215 pounds, blonde or strawberry with blue eyes. And then, of course, of much more importance, the charges. Violation of the Georgia Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, or RICO Act, and on and on.
Wait, the
and
mugshot
on.
is out? Or is it fake?
Charges, is it? He and Rudy Giuliani tied for most charges. Is this Michael Moore, a former U.S. attorney for Georgia?
Actually,
does that look familiar to you? Is that?
Yeah, this looks like the screenshot you would see outlining
Actually,
the charges, and it identifies the bond.
It's got to be fake.
To each one. So, as opposed to giving a mass bond to cover
it's
the
got to
entire
be fake.
indictment, they broke it down to a certain amount per charge, and that would be normal.
Is it normal to self-report your height and weight? Is that also something?
Well, again, I mean, I think this is probably different, and he's being treated different. Had he gone in as a regular,
I think he's going to be
inmate
fucking blue stealing it.
They would have done a processing. They typically would weigh and do a pat down, those kinds of things. This looks like it was probably filmed.
So, Andy McCabe, let's go.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. I hate when this happens. Nice self-suck. Actual mugshot. Dude, stop it. It happens sometimes. It's normal. America can't handle
unless they
the
have these
truth.
institutional levers and gears that they can gin up support for, either by intimidation or using the law as lawfare or whatever the institution is, the FBI, weaponize the DOJ. And at some point, we're going to reach a critical mass where people either are going to say, if we don't stop it, we don't have a country. And I think we're getting very close to that right now.
Well, people talk about, the election was rigged. You're seeing election interference right now. This could be the long...
Guys, everyone's posting fakes. Please stop. Everyone's posting fucking fakes. We'll know when it comes. It will come from legitimate outlets.
The National Archives. You have conspiracy to commit false statements and writings. There's
just all the documents and saying in which he was claiming voter fraud that did not exist, including swearing in notarized documents or sworn testimony about these things that he had been told by his lawyers and his attorney general and the White House counsel, et cetera, were not true.
That's right. And that's also statements by people like Rudy Giuliani acting on his behalf, testifying to the Georgia State Senate and making false statements in that testimony. Likely.
Even though he wasn't sworn in, it was still an official proceeding, or?
Correct. So filing false documents. Oh, I'm sorry, false statements and writings. Yeah, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings.
And Donald Trump's record, it now says that he has been released on bond. We should just note as part of this process, thanks to the bail bondsman, Foster Bail Bonds, LLC, and Charles Shaw, who put the $20,000 up, 10% of the $200,000 bond.
I guess, but for their intervention, he'd be staying the night.
Well, I'm guessing that he...
Everybody stop saying -5 when there's a $5 donation, when you could also avoid the top of the hour ad break by donating $5 in the form of a subscription Here's the 3-minute break now.
Right. What any other charges you want to go through?
So we have solicitation of false violation of oath by public officer. That's
They should arrest him for lying about his weight.
False statements and writings. That's another repeat. We have solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, and these are just repeats.
Basically, yes, it's the same thing, different people.
Same stuff, different people.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a list to behold when you look at all the indictments, all the counts that he has been charged with having.
Yeah, and I mean, it reflects the theory of the case from Fani Willis that Trump is at the center of all of this, all of it.
So Donald Joe.
Actually, one of the dates listed for the offense of the.
You guys want to know something really funny about those donos? I don't see them. I only see this on my dashboard, so I have no fucking idea what they're saying.
Launches this whole conspiracy. So it is the reason there are so many counts, the reason that there's so many aspects of this that Trump is involved in is because the whole point of this case is that he was at the heart of it, that he directed it, that people did it on his behalf.
Everyone is just saying minus
and that
$5.
He knew that a lot of this was based on lies.
And now this will end with an actual mugshot. The sheriff of Fulton County has confirmed that there was a mugshot taken of Donald Trump, and I expect that they will, as with all the other mugshots of the former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and former Time Person of the Year Rudy Giuliani, like there will be a mugshot released probably imminently.
Yes.
It'll be released.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it'll be released to the media without a doubt.
And that is a political gift to Donald Trump from his perspective and the perspective of the people around him. It is, if for any usual civilian, average human being, even most politicians, having a mugshot is an albatross around somebody's neck. And for him, his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, has already been on television saying that they already have the plans to make them into merch, and they're going to sell it, and they're going to raise money off of it, and he's going to make it as notorious and own it as much as he possibly can because it fits right into his political campaign.
Which will no doubt help him within.
Chat, I already made my
but with the majority
prediction.
of the country that
He's not going to
views
smile.
What he's trying to do
No
differently.
way.
It will not necessarily.
His ass
be
is
a
not
gift.
smiling, brother.
Motorcade, we should note, is now leaving the Fulton County Jail.
Oh, he's leaving.
Jackson.
Mugshot incoming, mugshot incoming, mugshot incoming.
And just to note, I mean, on the seriousness of this, I mean, it's obvious, but this case is not going to be easy for Trump to just shake.
No.
He cannot just become president and pardon himself or have someone else pardon him. None of this is going to be easy to shake. So there is going to be a process for this. It's going to be a lengthy, probably legal process.
Right, because we should just note for listeners, pardon himself for federal charges. These are
probably, yes.
Yeah, it's never been tested.
It's never been tested.
But his attorney, he could appoint an attorney general who would then dismiss the cases,
Yes.
but not for state
He
charges.
cannot do that
What
in
is
this
this?
case. He can't even
What is his
have
quality?
the governor of the state of Georgia pardon him. So this is going to be one of those cases that he has to actually get through the whole thing, go through the legal process. Maybe he wins on a motion, has it thrown out. That's possible, but seems unlikely given the stakes here. And that's why this is so serious. It's probably why this case has been like the Manhattan District Attorney case. Those are cases that have been sort of, in the back of his mind, deep annoyances, because they're not as easy for him to see a way out of.
Is it here?
And Trump's entire political career, really from the beginning,
seems
to always be about trying to keep the office of the presidency as a way of protecting himself from consequences like this. And that is not available to him in this case.
I think that's absolutely right. And despite the
Absolutely. We saw it as it drove out of this gate, Lester. We saw it as it sped down the road, and we saw it as it disappeared from the streets. I want to weigh in on that mugshot conversation, too. This is a decision that I know was not taken lightly. In fact, I understand that there were discussions and considerations as to whether or not this would happen, whether or not a mugshot would actually be taken.
They keep saying mugshot.
Today. So there was certainly a lot of weight behind this decision to take a mugshot. We understand that there were conversations.
Being duped so many times, dude, by every some of the worst posters on Twitter, like John Cooper tweets, all these other fucking people.
That is the media pool. We are actually live inside that motorcade.
Yeah, you got to see that red tie, baby. All those other mugshots are fake.
Will board his private plane and head back to New Jersey. On the right hand of your screen are the highways and the roads of Atlanta as this process continues on.
This is after, of course.
You know what's crazy?
That Fulton.
What if Trump just like changed his outfit in the car, and he just has a silly outfit? He's just looking real silly. Just saying, he just looks silly, like a silly Billy. You got a machine for a dick? It's incredible. What the fuck? What does that even mean, dude? I've never heard that. Oh. What the fuck? All right, let's look at Right Side Broadcasting.
Donaldson from Covington, Georgia.
Lee Donaldson from Covington, Georgia.
Good to see you. Some Georgia folks here. So how does it feel knowing that this is taking place in your state?
It makes me very sad to know that this can happen to a former president, and I call it a witch hunt too.
So I know why you're here today, to support the president, but what is the feeling like for you? It's a historic day.
It is, but it's a sad day. That's all I can say. It's a sad day, and that's how I feel.
And how do you feel about, President Trump? You're obviously a huge fan of the president, and to see that he's going through this again and again, yet another indictment.
I'm just glad he has thick skin, because I don't, and he has to have thick skin to go through what he's gone through.
Did you watch the debates last night?
I did not.
No. Did you watch the interview with Tucker?
Yes.
Okay, you're one of about two. Last I checked, not even 24 hours of it being posted, over 230 million people watched it. So tell me some of your takeaways from that interview.
Michelle?
Well, he was answering the questions really tough, but he wasn't giving everybody the answers, and that's what I like about Trump. You have to try to figure out him, but he's for our country. And I like that we were talking on the way up here, that he won the poll and he wasn't even at the the debate last night. Yeah. So, but he's for our country, and that's what, and when Tucker asked him, are they out to kill you? And I was like, oh my, that's a tough question to even answer, so.
Absolutely. And so I've thought about that before, too. I think a lot of Americans have. What's next for the president? They're trying to bring him down any way they can. And when Tucker asked him that, he just said they're savage. They're evil people. Do you agree with that?
Well, our country was founded by God. And I think we have come so far away from him. And I know it saddens him. So, and Trump wants to bring him.
Trump is so sad.
Into our country, and our children and our grandchildren.
Trump wants to bring God back to our country.
Really, our grandchildren now, because our children are grown. But our
They're so crazy, brother. They're so insane. This is what the real right wing is like, by the way.
America that we all know and love. So out here today, you'd see a lot of Trump supporters. There are a few people out here protesting Trump. What has been the mood like for you in your eyes?
Everybody has free speech, so. That's the country we live in, and so we're all the best thing for us to do is all get along.
And that's what's most important, and I'm glad you said that, because we do have some people behind you who may disagree with your views, but everybody's peaceful and getting along. At the end of the day, we're all American.
That's right. You're right about that. So, and the thing is I told someone that our homeless people and our veterans were already having a hard time, and with our economy the way it is now, it's even harder. And more people are becoming homeless, and that's what's sad for our country.
It is. You look at these big cities, and these they call them tent cities, where the homeless are just taking shelter because they have nowhere to go. They don't have any jobs. They don't have food. They don't have water, and so they just converge and all over the country in these cities, and it's really sad to see. Businesses are locking up. Small businesses are shutting down. What do you?
I mean, he lied here too. Former President Donald Trump told police he weighs 240 pounds and stands at 6 feet 2 inches. I think he's probably 6'1", maybe 6'2", and he absolutely is like 200 and at minimum 265 pounds. I would, nah, more than that. He's like 280. 280. Like, there's just no fucking way. Oh, what are they doing?
Well, I hope to see you whenever these murders are solved and these murderers are brought in, that you're going to be out here holding this yellow sign. We're going to come look for you. Okay.
Okay. Why are you here? Why are you here defending a person being locked up? Are you going to come back and defend murderers from being locked up? None of what she said makes sense.
So as the night wears on, they're getting louder.
She said, you care about this crime? How about name every crime? God, these people are so fucking stupid. Why? Why are they allowed to be this stupid? Why?
High crime rates in Atlanta, in cities in California, and you see homeless populations, and you see small businesses shutting down. You see big box stores shutting down because these criminals are going in and just.
Is it out? Bro, why would fucking CFC Weagle have the right one? Like, why would it be coming from CFC Weagle? Ask yourself. It's called soccer. I ain't hearing anything different. Like, why is that guy with that description lapping mainstream media journalists? Like, it makes no goddamn sense, man. Stop linking even me. John Cooper tweets is not fucking credible either. Oh my God. Please stop. It's real to me, brother. Keep coping.
Right? He has wrapped himself in this martyrdom, victimhood, and it's quite remarkable in some ways what he's pulled off here. It still feels as if, there's still a long way to go. He's made it through the arraignment portion of this, but when we start to get information, when discovery starts to come out, and who knows, maybe he survives that too, but this is going to, there's going to be every day, every week, there's going to be a reminder. Maybe there'll be a motion by somebody to sever ties. Maybe somebody decides to start cooperating. And it won't even necessarily be in this case, could be another case. And you just start to wonder, when is this fatigue with Republicans going to set in? You see it is, the candidates are fatigued from this. We know behind the scenes there's not a lot of faith that somehow Trump can win a general election with all of this hanging over his head. But I know Trump survives more than stuff that nobody else can survive. But at some point, the straw will break his back, too. And I look at all this. I watch what happened last night. You put all this together, and you just got to ask yourself, can he really withstand more of this? We haven't even started with the actual details of what's going to come out in some of these trials.
That's right, Chuck.
And we haven't, what's going to happen then?
Yeah.
What's the feeling going to be like?
We've got a lot of political road ahead of us here, but we're also finding out now from our Blaine Alexander that there has been now a response to a bomb threat at the Fulton County Courthouse, according to the sheriff, with K-9 units, police en route. I want to get back to our Gabe Gutierrez, who is...
Dude, I love Republicans. They just they literally have one note, dude, bomb threat. Instantly, dude. It's going to get funnier and funnier the more they become unhinged, and they're just I went to McDonald's and they fucked up my shake order. Bomb threat. It's crazy, man. There was a story that I didn't even have time to cover today where there was a fucking library. Where is it? Hold on. I'm going to cover it really quickly. Ari Drennan mentioned this. A library asked a group repeatedly misgendering trans athletes to leave. At 9 a.m. the next day, Riley Gaines shared the librarian's name and phone number to her 700,000 followers. The library received its first bomb threat by 3 p.m. It's insta bomb threat. They're so fucking unhinged. What's happening? Lock these fucking Rethuglicans up, okay?
Behind me,
I'm sick and tired of these fucking criminals. Actually, lock those guys up for sure, though. All jokes aside. Those guys should definitely go to jail. What the fuck are we doing? Figure out a better way to make sure that you know exactly where the call's coming from, and jail these fucking pieces of shit. What are we doing? Ban the party from running and throw all the leadership in prison like Golden Dawn in Greece? I mean, that would be pretty fire if we could do that, except this is a two-party state, you know what I mean? Not happening. I guess you hate freedom of speech. I do hate freedom of speech. It's fucking overrated.
Out to board his plane and take off from Atlanta after being charged with all of those crimes, again, being accused of interfering in the 2020 election. This is 4th indictment so far, if you're keeping count here, along with 18 other co-defendants. They have until tomorrow, because some people still in this case have not turned themselves in. The big piece of news that we've gotten over the last several minutes, besides this bomb threat at the courthouse, of course, we have now confirmed that there is a mugshot of the former president that was taken at the Fulton County Jail. At some point, maybe possibly in the next couple of hours, we will see that mugshot. We don't know exactly when. We know now that the press, as we're seeing on the right, is assembling now as the president's going to get out. Secret Service on hand there, Fulton County Sheriff's deputies. There was a massive motorcade. The streets of Atlanta were closed down. And this is pretty incredible, Hallie, that he's did this entire process in less than an hour.
I don't think that was the expectation for anybody walking into this thing, how quickly this would go. Just to pull back the curtain here so people know what they're looking at. When the former president travels, there is a pool of reporters that goes with him, because he is, of course, the former commander-in-chief, and there is a high level of interest and newsworthiness to what he does. Those are the people you just saw scramble into place. We are watching this extremely closely, because we expect to now see, for the first time, we'll get him on the plane. He'll get on the plane.
This is our election specialist, chat. Look at this fucking guy.
Since this surrender,
Literally earlier posted, is this real, chat, on his fucking Twitter account. If you're in here right now, what the fuck are you doing? I just found this from some random guy with a tie and lighting match. We're going down with the ship. Fucking Zoomers, bro. Ay.
On the plane, but knowing the former president, you don't know what to predict here. He could come out and he could say something.
We already know he's going to speak later.
I know it's not the main point, but I cannot fucking comprehend how they let him do self-scaling, self-reporting on his weight and height, man. That's kind of sad. Let me tell you, I had really, really high expectations from Georgia as far as content goes. Like, they were like, oh, we're going to prep rock him, all this stuff, right? That was wrong. Where's the fucking mugshot? Hello? Why wouldn't you put him on a scale and then also look at his height? It's actually fucked up.
To their advantage. Here it looks like it's not turned on.
They got Kaya?
It looks like they could possibly be waiting for something. I'd also got to say, Hallie, they set up the pool that way. I guess to get a shot, too. We shouldn't get, too ahead of ourselves. They could just be setting up for the shot outside the car.
Listen,
but why would he get out that way?
Okay, shut the fuck up. It's time for Right Side Broadcasting News, the real news media. Thank you, sir. You're right.
Many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to. Otherwise, you're going to have a very dishonest election. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong, and everybody knows it. I've never had.
It's going to get loud.
And that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. This is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think is very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.
They should make it illegal to do these interviews at the tarmac, I think. It's just so fucking annoying whenever they do it on the tarmac. Also, I did such a good job of sheltering your ears, shielding your ears. Shut the fuck up.
Speaking out against the rigged election, the fact that it had an opinion on the election.
Oh my God, what is this audio, man? I'm sorry. Noah Kareem Mikhail is 6'3" and 250 pounds, same height as weight as Trump self-reported to the Fulton County Jail. Yeah. I mean, exactly. First of all, why are you sending this to me? I'm fucking 6'4" and 235, or I'm 245 pounds right now. But like, you're showing all these other people, but like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. You should have a better assessment of what someone at that height and weight looks like. Why would he lie? I think it's probably on his like ID or something. I don't know. I think he low-key did lose weight, but it could just be the face. Chat, what are you saying? Not make me point to the fucking photo again. I posted a fucking old shirtless selfie from when I was 225 pounds. I was even heavier than that. I was like 230. Please show us again. Yeah, they arrested Kaya. I'm 10 pounds heavier than Trump here. 15 pounds heavier than Trump here. Does that make sense to you? I'm only 6'4". He's 6'3", apparently. You just watched him. Look at how he looks. Here, let me run it back real quick. You think this man and myself have like what, 10, 20 pounds between us? Everybody stop saying muscle weighs more than fat. That is so stupid. It doesn't matter. The disparity is not that vast. You're out of your fucking mind. Like, he would have to have no bones, man. What are you talking about?
It's a defamation suit against him, and he just acknowledged that he did defame them. He called them criminals. He said their house would be searched. The voting machines, those voting machines were tampered with. So
Trump
these
is
are
like a bird. He's got hollow
Hillary Clinton
bones.
and Stacey Abrams did not do.
Hallie, as a Trump watcher over the last decade, what did you notice about the president's sort of demeanor and his comments there? Did he seem almost, I mean, he didn't seem like he was that fighting spirit, right?
I think he seemed defiant, and I think that is par for the course for him in these moments. I think you make an important point here about the conditions of his bond. That is serious, and if he violates those conditions, there could, of course, be repercussions against him. And I think it's important to sort of bottom line the conversation that you and Catherine are having. There are mechanisms by which to challenge results of the election that happen in a court of law. Dozens of those legal challenges were losses for the former president and his allies in court. There has been no evidence of widespread fraud in the 2020 election around the country, or specifically in Georgia, where he is facing these charges. Now, he is linked his legal issues to his political future. They are one and the same. There's no two lanes, right? We may talk about it like it's two different buckets. It's all.
God, this analysis is so boring, dude. Oh my God.
So hanging out with all these lawyers, I learned so much more, including Van.
I think I'm going to go back to Fox News.
How do you campaign?
Did you miss the mugshot? No.
Surreal, and I
Not out
don't
yet.
think that there's anybody who
This field of candidates understands that it's not just about one man, Donald Trump. It's about the entire country, the entire movement, and this kind of desperate
Jesse Waters is so
lashing
cooked.
out at people they can't control.
Well, I think they better. You know, because there's a two-pronged effect here. Obviously, they want to prevent Donald Trump from ever becoming president again. That's been pretty clear for a long time now. But this is also
I knew that this was something that the Hogs were doing. I'm so happy that Marjorie Taylor Greene is also participating in it. Oh, that's so good.
This is about a warning to the rest of the country. Don't you step out of line, because today it's Donald Trump. Tomorrow it could be you. So I sure hope that every person running for president of the United States understands what is at stake right now, because it really, Jesse, is a frightening time and a very dark time for America.
Will it work neutralizing him this way legally, tying him up in the courtroom for months in the beginning of next year into the spring while he should be fundraising and campaigning and traveling? Is that going to be effective?
Well, I don't think it has been so far. The latest CBS poll has Donald Trump at 62% in the Republican field. No one even comes close. His poll numbers, of course, Jesse, continue to rise every single time they try to throw something like this his way, because I think it becomes more and more obvious to the country what they're trying to do and why it is so dangerous, why this precedent cannot succeed here in America. And so, no, I don't think it will be successful for them. I sure hope it's not, because it kind of feels like this is our last chance to save this country. This is our last chance to get it right. Once you give power to people like this, who are literally willing to burn it all down, like they are doing to this country right now, we don't come back from that. They don't give you your rights back. Once they try to shave some more fat off the United States Constitution, you can't put it back again. So I don't think it will work. I think people understand what's going on. And I think that tonight just solidified Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States.
All right. I think you're right about that. If they get away with this isn't going to be the first political arrest. There's going to be a whole lot more where that came from. Thank you so much for joining us, Lara. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse.
A convicted mafia underboss joins us next. Plus, How did last night's debate go?
Who was the biggest loser of last night's debate?
No matter how you look at it, my pants.
Ay. This is their Tucker Carlson replacement. Absolutely nutty. Real bad. Why is Ross from Friends doing Fox News, a British person? What? Trump supporter outside of Fulton jail says he has filed for an arrest warrant for Fulton DA Fannie
I'm here
Willis.
with Brad Barnes, who just filed an arrest for the Fulton County DA. Now, what are you alleging charges on her for?
So there are 4 charges, 2 under the U.S. Code, 2 under the Georgia Code. So the 2 under the Georgia Code are violation of oath by a public officer, which is 1610-1. And unprofessional conduct by public officers and employees, which is 4511-4.
Dude, what's up with his fucking ear titties, bro? Yo. What is going on, man? I can't call them earlobes, brother. That is not the same thing that you and I have. Look at my man. His things are hanging, dude. That is on a different level. He's got a bounce to it. He's got the Dead or Alive developers making new fucking titty physics for his earlobes. Body shaming, Omega Law. Man, why can't we have a little bit of fun? Like, first of all, look at him. Like, the fact that I'm only making fun of his fucking earlobes should, show you that I'm being so fucking nice. Look at him. He looks like a cartoon character. He looks like if Peter Griffin decided to run for office in Family Guy. The fuck are you talking about? Body shaming. My man looks like he fucking had gauges, like pink flesh gauges put into his goddamn ears, so he's got some big ass fucking lobes up in there. Why are you tearing this guy apart? I wasn't even doing nothing. I was just having a little bit of fun. They're called keloids. Do try to probably pierce his ears at some point. Bro, there is no way. That is the most impenetrable material on the planet, dude. It's not happening. What did he try to do? He would not be able to get through. Keloids? My man's got testicles in his ears. Mugshot may not drop till tomorrow. Wait. Oh my God. Some of the chatters earlier in the morning were correct. It would be released tomorrow, Friday, August 24th at 4 p.m. But Sheriff's Office noted, release of booking information including mugshots will occur daily at approximately 4 p.m. EST. Trump arriving at the jail well after 4 p.m. on Thursday night that would push the expected release of his mugshot to Friday. No, we knew about this already. The sheriff could make an exception. I told you. Yo, Hasi, you're right. Thank you, man. Look at this. Come on now. Anyway, let's get back to this guy. Let's see what kind of ideas he's got.
Which is 1610-1. And unprofessional conduct by public officers and employees, which is 4511-4. And then the 2 under the U.S. Code are under 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242, and those are conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under color of law.
Okay, so what exactly are you saying that she did?
So it's very clear that she is using her...
By the way, the guy that chatters we're trying to defend here is trying to do a citizen's arrest on Fannie Willis, the DA who used the RICO charge against Donald Trump and is prosecuting Donald Trump.
Public office to prosecute a political grudge, and actions such as charging lawyers for filing legal paperwork and representation of their clients for example, is a clear violation of the defendants, like Mr. Trump's right to a redress of grievances under the First Amendment.
Okay. I think that's it. Do you have anything else on this? Why'd you come down here to the jail today?
Well, I think it's important that we get this information out there. And, I wanted to be with my fellow Republicans and fellow Trump supporters. It's always a good time. Everyone's always very positive to these sorts of things.
If you're in line to be processed at Fulton County Jail, stay in line. Blacks for Trump, hogwatch. Oh.
Put those tariffs on China, made China back up? No, not that's my man. That is a man.
NTD.com Dude, that's crazy that these outlets literally still exist, for the record. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. This is like a Epoch Times adjacent.
He knows the world system better than any of those guys.
We need this country saved. It needs to be saved right now, as everyone knows. Everyone can see, even though some won't admit it, it's going down and fast. So he has 4 years of proof that he can turn it around, and I believe he will.
This is a Falun Gong operation, yes.
My support for him is unwavering.
They're making the claim of illegality, and they never checked the reason that they're claiming the illegality. They're saying he questioned the election. So did we. We were up that night, and we watched the vote stop, and we're like, what's that all about? And then he was winning, or won at that point, and then it flipped when it came back, and we're looking, what happened? And
Yeah, why is this flag so straight? And it's like, clearly, what is happening here? Oh, this guy's back. You look kind of like an Ewok. Yeah, I put this wok inside of your mom. That didn't work, but it's okay. I took the wok to Poland. Put the machine in his mom. He just bought it at the event. It's fresh from the packaging. I know, but it's not flying. Look. It's standing straight. It makes no sense. Why is it standing straight? Like it's the fucking moon landing flag or something. Oh wait, the moon landing flag actually waved, right? That was the move. That's why people were saying it's fake.
Defending one.
Oh my Michael Franzese, former mobster, analyzing the Biden family. No, wasn't this guy dope? I feel like I've seen videos from this dude. He's like kind of cool, right? Is Jesse Waters crying?
And when I say
he is, he's overcome with emotion at how much crime the Biden crime family has done. What the fuck is this shit? Okay, everybody gave up, dude.
In just the last couple of seconds here, posting video of himself on the tarmac, publicly, of course, pointing to the moment that he is in. He's already posted on his online social media platform about his arrest, his booking procedures, etc. And we should also note here, if you are watching us on a second screen here, if you're going back and forth, there is a bunch of fake mugshots circulating online.
Yeah. There are a bunch of fake mugshots circulating online. Anyway, they're making fun of Trump's alleged measurements on MSNBC.
They actually measure him? Do they put him on a scale? It's not like going to the veterinarian. They do not actually make you stand on the scale. But he's listed as a white male. His hair color is listed as blonde or strawberry.
Is that a nice way to say orange?
Blonde or strawberry. His eye color is listed as blue. His height is listed as 6'3", and his weight is listed
175.
215.
6'3", 215, people pointed out as the exact dimensions of Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if the control room has a Lamar Jackson.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny, Chris, and if that's what you're trying to say, I think.
I feel like
an hour and 20 minutes ago, I said the whole thing is a sham. The whole thing, up to the weight, and I believe 24 hours ago,
up to the height.
When we were together, I said, I bet he's not at the debate because he's fasting. Now, even if he fasted, there's no way. And Mark Meadows had to also self-report his height and weight. He clocked in at 240.
Honestly.
There's no way Trump is 25 pounds lighter than Meadows.
He's like doubting Ozempic.
I'm not even going to front.
100%.
Absolutely.
But you do something that doesn't become a segment. It's ridiculous.
Do we know who entered the hair color? Is that Donald Trump?
I'm sorry. Listen, if you fucking cry about this and go, they're fat shaming the president. Ah! Wait, it was real. That mugshot was real. The second one was real. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's over. It's fucking Jover, dude. I was right. I was right. Pay up, bitches. Pay up. Let's go. I did everything right. And they indicted me. They even got him on his good side. Dude, he looks so hot. He looks so fucking hot. Also, Eddie was also right. I can never say his name. Edinger Momentum was correct, even though I clowned on him. He was right. Listen, he was right. He got lucky. Total vindication. He was correct. Edimentum. He's mewing? What does that mean? Bro, he put that shit on, dude. Look at him. Why is he flexing that there's like, that he posted this photo? I don't understand. We saw the photo 100 times in this fucking chat. You can't tell me he didn't go full blue steel. I told you he did. I told you he was going to. Can you watch the Andrew Tate Alex Jones interview? Fuck no. I told you that he would smolder. I told you that he would hit the blue steel, and he fucking did. He did. Bro, this random dude beat a CNN anchor to the punch. No, he wasn't the only person that posted it, chat. What the fuck is wrong with you? There was hella people that posted it in here before him. What do you... How is it that you're in here and you experienced this happen and like you still think like your favorite Twitter account posted it first? Like we saw it like 8 times before he posted it. That's why I thought it was fake still. It doesn't even matter. Like he was probably practicing his face in the mirror last night. He looks hot. He looks fucking hot. He looks hot as fuck. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck that other people are saying it. Okay? I don't give a fuck what other people are saying it. Where's Ethan? I'm going to text Ethan right now. There was no way he was going to smile. There was no way. No shot. What's the payout, by the way? Did we do the Gamba? What's the Gamba situation? It's fake? No, it's not. CNN posted it, chat. Let's see what CNN is saying live on the fucking mugshot. Trump is officially a mug shouty. Okay? That's it. It's done.
It makes me sad that a former president has conducted himself in such a way that it's warranted not 1 indictment, not 2, not 3, but 4 different jurisdictions, and to now be booked into the Fulton County Jail and included in that indictment is...
What are you saying?
Harassment and
fake according to this guy? Yeah, fuck CNN. This guy, who's a #1 fan of NASA's SLS rocket, enjoyer Roman history, with a fucking blue check mark,
I mean, you see that
posted a fucking local news media article from yesterday. Have some media literacy.
Of the former president of the United States.
Yeah, it is a stark and
this guy's a dino enthusiast.
Side of your screen.
He must know better.
Jail inmate number P01135809, otherwise known as 40% of the United States. Donald John Trump. We see on the right side of the screen his Boeing 757 about to take off from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, Georgia, on its way back to Newark, New Jersey.
Even if this,
no doubt,
even if this is still fake, that doesn't make that guy right. This photo is a banger. Oh. Anyway. Why is he and only he pictured at a slight angle? Because he's the fucking president, dog. He can do whatever he wants.